All right, so we are not too far away now from Mr. Tom Sanders taking to the stage with his album launch party gig. He's with me right now, and I'm going to be asking him some questions about the gig that's about to happen, and also some questions that people have sent in on Instagram as well. How you feeling about it, Tommy? All right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm excited. It's strange.
It's very eerie.
There's no audience. I'm not used to it, and it's a strange way of like launching. It's the first gig I've done as myself, so it's going to be
literally just you as yourself with no audience even.
Yeah,
it's very
solitary affair.
So
see how it goes.
Preparation wise, obviously it's been very different because there's nobody here. But how has it been different to try and prepare as a solo artist as opposed to getting ready to showcase material as a band? How's this been different solo?
Well, there's no one to kind of bounce ideas off, which makes it quite difficult.
Okay.
But then the flip side of that is there's no one to argue with either. So
yeah,
that kind of saves the time. But yeah, it's all right. It's been fairly straightforward. Like my whole setup is really stripped back, which is quite refreshing because when I play in a band, there's so much shit. There's like so much stuff to plug in and so many things that could go wrong. But hopefully things won't go too wrong.
Let's
anymore.
hope not. You've got, on the stage setup, you've got keyboard and guitar. Is there one that you do in solo work feel more comfortable behind than the other?
Yeah, the guitar.
Yeah?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm completely... I feel very alien playing the keyboard. I feel like I've got big sausage fingers, like
Let's
Prince
have a look
Charles.
At them. They're all right.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
they
say
don't
they're
look
too
like
sausagey.
sausages, but they feel like sausages when I put them on the keyboard. Anyway.
Do you have any rituals, like either pre or post gig? Is there like something that you like to do?
Just furiously smoking. But I'm actually haven't been smoking recently because I've been ill, and I just thought it might be a good time to not smoke.
Good time to quit.
Yeah.
And what about, is there like, do you ever do this thing where you're like, I've had a good gig, I'm going to treat myself to a...
More cigarettes.
More cigarettes? There's no like food or...
Yeah, no, the first thing after a gig is a cigarette. And alcohol. Just beer, because I try not to drink before playing. I normally have one beer before a gig, or none. And then after the gig, a few beers. Maybe.
A few beers,
Yeah.
okay.
Not loads, though.
All right,
No.
because while you're on, I'll nip to the offie and pick them up.
Would you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, in terms of writing the album and putting it out, I saw in an interview somewhere that you said you basically had loads of material and you wanted to put something out. But how has it been easy to decide what would go on this album and what you would keep for Teleman, or vice versa? Has there been something that you wrote for Teleman and thought, actually, I'm keeping this for myself?
Yeah, it kind of felt quite intuitive. The ones that, I don't know, like you'll hear, like most of these songs are pretty downbeat and quite introspective. I don't know why, they just seem much more personal, and they didn't feel right for Teleman. So yeah, it felt natural which ones to choose. Yeah.
And you obviously only picked The Magic because the album's called Only Magic.
That's correct.
Correct. So we've got some questions from people that they've sent into your Instagram. So I'm going to do my best with some of these absolutely horrendous Instagram handles. But let's whip through a few of these. Paul Hodges, I think this is a good place to start, wants to know, Tom, what is your favourite carbohydrate?
Okay. Excellent question.
It really
actually.
is. Well done, Paul.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with bread, just straight off the bat. Like bread. It's like has to be the most versatile carbohydrate when you think that, you know, that kind of encompasses pizzas as well.
Yeah, right.
Like, and
actually, that is smart when you put it like that.
Yeah, sandwiches, grissini, sourdough, buns, burgers have a bap on them, you know. So
yeah. It's hard to argue with that when you put it like that.
I can keep talking about this. Carbohydrates, like at the bottom of the list, this is quite controversial, and I know most people probably put pasta at the top. I put pasta at the bottom.
Oh, no, I put rice at the bottom.
It's a tie with rice. They're tied.
Yeah, right, okay.
Rice is really good. And, you know, a lot of people just live solely on rice pretty much. And it's, and potatoes underrated. Like,
potato is underrated.
Really versatile. There's so much you can do.
There is a potato question in here, which we'll get to in a bit.
Okay.
Arseny Music. I hope that's not somebody doing like a sort of old Simpsons gag where they're trying to make us read out a rude word. Arseny Music says, Have you got any favourite memories of Pete and the Pirates?
Yeah, probably when Pete walked into a canal, and I didn't know where he'd gone. I was just walking along with him. He was walking next to me, and I turned around and he'd gone.
Just dropped off the side.
Yeah, we were in Holland on tour. And he'd just silently gone into a canal. It was covered in this film of duckweed, so you couldn't even see the water. There's more to the story, but I can't tell the other part because it's compromising. But that's good enough.
That's good enough. Okay. Also, same person again. Arseny Music says, when will there be an opportunity to listen to a new Teleman release? What I should say is, give him a break. He's just brought out a solo album.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. Well, we've just recorded stuff actually, and we're looking for someone to mix it, and then it should be out early next year.
Cool.
At some point, yeah.
Pete and the Pirates fan group wants to know, are you going to do a solo tour post-coronavirus?
I'd really like to, yeah. I mean, it would make good sense, wouldn't it?
It sure would.
Yeah, I'd like to. I was thinking about touring on my own. It's kind of, it feels like could potentially be quite lonely, but I guess you just take a load of mates with you, or
yeah, I mean,
take a dog.
As a stand-up comedian, I can confirm it's lonely on your
lonely.
own. You do watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, here's the jacket potato question from Elizabeth 1979. She wants to know, jacket potato method. What is your jacket potato method?
Okay, I can talk about this. We were talking about this earlier, weren't we?
A little bit, yeah.
So I've tried a few different methods, but like the one that I find works the best is just nothing. Just put it in a hot oven.
Right.
And just walk away. And you can really, it can take a lot of cooking a jacket potato. You can leave it in there for a long time, much longer than you think.
Oh yeah,
and it just gets crispier and crispier because I like it like leather on the bottom,
Yeah, but are you having the skin afterwards? Some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me too. That's the best bit. But people in my house, they do not partake in the skin.
I hate those people.
Well, I'll pass that on. I sure will. I'm with you on it, by the way. But and this was what wound me up because I got taught a new jacket potato method.
Oil and salt.
Oil and salt,
yeah.
and they're not even eating the skin. The person that showed me that.
That's silly, isn't it?
But it is delicious.
I don't know. It does work, but at the same time, I didn't notice any difference by just doing it by putting it in on its own. So controversial.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure there's people now screaming at the YouTube channel. But what are you having on the jacket potato? So let's cover that.
Oh yeah. Well, this is actually comes from a previous Teleman post.
Right, does it? Okay.
Yeah, we posted our lunch, which was we were around at mine, and I'd made jacket potatoes with cheese and beans, and some people were like a little bit surprised and shocked that having cheese. I don't know.
Did you put the cheese on first,
people
or the beans on first?
Turning their nose up at cheese and beans.
No, that's the only way to do it.
It's like the number one filling,
yeah.
Right? And then maybe you could have like
tuna. Some people
tuna
like
mayo.
tuna.
Yeah, I put a cheese in the jacket potato, then the beans. Actually, no, I start with a big load of butter, like about 25 grams.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Then like a fistful of cheese.
Yeah.
Cheddar.
Yeah.
Extra mature.
Yeah, correct.
Hot beans.
Yeah.
And then more cheese on top. And then Worcester sauce if you want to.
I want everybody at home to stand up and give this man a round of applause. He's not even played a song yet. That is the correct answer. Awesome. Next person that's got a question for us is Gatu Belgar. Wants to know, Tom, who are some of your favourite bands?
Oh dear, I don't like these kind of questions because I don't know. They always
get you when. Because you miss people out.
No, just because I don't really have favourite bands. I don't have a favourite band. But do you know who I've been listening to, kind of not deliberately but accidentally and really enjoying?
Go on.
Dire Straits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like incredible songwriting, just really kind of benign rock.
Right. Maybe there'll
really
be some
good.
noodling on the next record.
It's great. I love it.
Christian Bastet says, favourite beer and favourite Alan Partridge moment.
Okay, favourite beer is like if you want to buy me a beer at any time you see me around, just a pale ale.
Pale ale.
Lovely.
Every
Thank
bit
you very much.
an East London lad.
Thank you for that in advance. Alan Partridge, favourite Alan Partridge moment is, which is your favourite Lord? is it the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Flies,
Nice.
or the Lord of the
Yeah.
Dance?
Very good.
And which is it though? Which is the best Lord?
Well, what would you say? Lord of the Flies for me.
Yeah, I was going to go with that too.
Yeah. DJ Bad Bones says, first album you remember buying?
It was I was pretty young. In fact, I don't know if I bought it myself or whether maybe it was a Christmas present, but it was MC Hammer.
That is class.
Came with a Ghetto Blaster. It was a Christmas.
No
yeah, it was
way.
a Christmas present.
Great. With a Ghetto Blaster.
It was really.
That's pretty
It was
cool.
bad. It was not a good album.
No, but
It only had one good song in it, and I remember listening to all the rest and being like, "Is this how albums work? They just get one good song?"
well, we're going to find out pretty soon.
And that song was obviously. Hey.
Yeah, that song was
It was the only MC Hammer song that most
that
people
everyone
know.
knows, yeah, whatever it's called. I can't remember. Couple more. Sandra Lat says, what's your favourite film and will you be returning to Germany post-coronavirus?
Definitely go back to Germany. It's one of my favourite places to play. It's incredible. It's like a home from home to me. We got good beer,
Mm-hmm.
quite bad weather.
Yeah.
So it feels like being at home. Sausages,
Oh, bratwurst all day long.
really good.
Yeah.
Really good sausages.
This could almost turn into a food podcast if we're not
Yeah,
careful.
I know.
Because this next question is also about... Right, Lord Frith has sent in 3 questions, and I'm going to do them all because I feel like the answers altogether might give him some sort of super present that he's going to send you. First of all, Lord Frith says, biscuits or cake?
Biscuits.
Favourite train station?
Paddington, because I used to live in Reading, that's
Right.
where I'm from, and
Mhm.
we'd do gigs in London, miss the last train home and have to stay in Paddington Station until like 5 a.m. when the first train came. Actually, it's my worst station. It's my worst. But they got a good Burger King there.
Okay, good. Onion rings and a burger?
In the old days, not
Yeah,
anymore.
okay.
No.
And then the last part of this question is favourite tea. So I can only assume that they're trying to make you some sort of train station shaped
Hamper.
flavoured biscuit or
A big
something like that. Yeah,
hamper.
maybe. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, for the record, favourite tea.
Favourite tea? Just a really nice, strong builder's tea with just a dash of milk and no sugar.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good stuff. And finally, tonight's show's very own, we just saw a fantastic set. At Bessie Turner on Instagram, I've already said that, but just to make sure in case you're not following, wants to know what your death row meal would be.
Okay, I'm going to go with a nice, hot as in spicy, lamb curry. It doesn't have to be lamb, but yeah, I don't eat much meat, but on this occasion, I'm not going to feel too bad about it.
No, because you're the one.
I'll
You're
be
going
dead,
the same way.
dead the next day, and it will be hot and spicy because I won't need to worry about the repercussions of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any sides? Naan?
Yeah.
Dole out? Yeah. What?
What?
No, I'm just
So
saying.
I assumed that they would come with it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
but-
want poppadoms, like 10 poppadoms with all of the bits that go with them, the rice and the naan. Yeah. Awesome.
No, it sounds good to me, mate. Obviously, we all know this by now. Only Magic is out on the 4th of December, and we are going to be very privileged indeed to see Tom play an amazing set. So, without any further ado, let's get to it.